Hello, welcome to Dogghead Tech, and to another episode where I refurbish old and new gaming equipment. In the last episode, I refurbished a PS4 Pro console, and in this episode we have the controller that it came with. Now whilst it tests okay, I've noticed on the right hand side the stick's pointing to the left a little bit, meaning that it's likely going to drift in the near future, even though it's not now. So we're going to do a bit of preventative maintenance. I'll also test the potentiometers on the left hand side and make sure they're okay, and also clean it up. So this should be a pretty straightforward refurbishment. So without further ado, let's get this thing apart. A friend of mine who has asked me to sell this on his behalf, the console and the controller, didn't say that there was any problems with this, and it's testing perfectly fine. But as I say, just a bit of preventative maintenance. I don't know if you can pick it up on this top camera actually. This right hand side is kind of just pointing in a little bit this way. I've also done tests on PC and it kind of seems to be hinting that it's starting to drift over to the left. But as I say, it's actually working perfectly well at the moment. There we go. So got our trusty stick ready to go. And because it's a PS4 Pro, the later revisions of the controllers should either be a 050 or 055 model. 055, there we go. They're my favourite types to work on. With the later revisions, they in theory should be better than the earlier releases. We'll put the chassis to one side for the moment, but that will need full disassembly and deep clean. Yeah, I don't know if you can pick that up, but that definitely is leaning over to the left hand side. This one's fine, but this one just needs a little bit of TLC. So I'm just going to put some low melt onto this. So adding this low melt solder will just help bring the melting point down a bit to make it easier to extract. Beautiful. Just at 400 degrees. It's going to heat up all of these solder points. So I'm just cautious here. I'm pointing the airflow kind of in this direction. The reason for that is because I'm a little bit cautious of this plastic component here. I don't want to burn or melt it. See everything getting very shiny. Right, there we go. So there's the stick. Usually the potentiometers come with it. They're being a little bit stubborn. Right, there we go. Now keeping the heat on. I'm going to go straight in the solder sucker. And there we have it. Right, so now that is out, let's get this cleaned up. So I do have some Hall Effect analog sticks that I've had in stock for about 2 or 3 months, and I haven't done anything with them. Now, if you don't know what a Hall Effect analog stick is, I mean, I don't know a huge amount of them myself, but from what I gather, it's essentially instead of having a carbon pad and a piece of metal doing that, it runs off magnets, so it alleviates that wear and tear, which makes them arguably more reliable. So I figured, why not give it a go? So I bought some. I was going to install it onto my PS5 controller, however I haven't got around to do that yet. If you do want to see me do that, then let me know. If you'd find that interesting, let me know, and then subscribe, and then you'll get a notification that it's come up. So in the meantime, however, let's get this guy in here. So we've got a brand new analog stick. We'll drop that straight in. I actually need a free hand for this. So I'm just going to tack this into place. There we go. And that will hold it. And I can flux up the rest of these points that I'm going to be working on. Sort this one out, it's a bit blobby. I'm working with solder tips that I really don't like. Let's get some heat on this. There we go, that's better. So yeah, this tip's just struggling to get enough heat into the solder joints. Right, and there we have it. So, off camera, I'm going to tidy up this chassis. I'm going to tidy up this chassis and hopefully looking pretty good. Right, so it's a little bit later in the evening and I have cleaned up this chassis now and it looks pretty good. To be honest, it was in great condition anyway. It just needed a little bit of a clean. So let's get this back together. Where do we start? Let's start with this track pad. Just to stop it streaking, just run my finger across it. There we are. So the original analog sticks are going to be going back on. These are totally fine. What you'd expect with general wear and tear. No damage. Right, so let's get this back plate on. On goes the void sticker to protect any work. So last but not least, let's give these screws a little clean. So grading wise, the console and controller plus cables, the bundle will be graded at grade B, which means that it just has a few surface scratches, nothing crazy. Doesn't look brand new, has very, very small signs of wear. And that, I think you'll agree, is a very nice looking controller. To go with what is a very nice looking console to make a very nice bundle. But I will get that charged up, test it, make sure it works. Once I've done that, this will be totally ready, 100% to use. So you can kind of see, I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but this right stick is now perfectly pointing up. It's not going over to the left like it was, and I'm really happy with how it looks. I can't promise that this bundle will still be up for sale, but if you are interested in seeing what I have available, then check out my website, that's in the description below. And that kind of brings us to the end of this video, so thank you very much for watching. It is genuinely appreciated. Please do subscribe if you've liked what you've seen, and I'll hopefully see you again in another video very soon. Thank you very much, bye bye.